Hello, I'm Brian Schaefer, Assistant Chief with the City of Spokane Fire Department. The Washington State Department of Transportation has installed over 70 miles of high-tension cable guardrail across 8 different counties in Washington State. This new type of cable is pulled tight using approximately 5,000 to 8,000 pounds of tension. So far, the new cable system has prevented 2 vehicles from crossing into oncoming lanes just in the first month when it was installed near Bellingham. But already in Washington State, we have had a collision where a vehicle was entangled in the cables. In that case, the responders did not cut the cables, but it did raise a good question. What do we do if there are life-threatening injuries and we can't get to the victims because of cables? Can the cables be cut, if necessary, to save lives? Fortunately, the answer is yes, but only as a last resort. High-tension cable barriers can withstand multiple vehicle strikes and still provide crossover protection, but when they are cut, at least 1,000 feet of barrier is placed out of service until it can be repaired. For these reasons, Washington DOT requests that emergency responders avoid cutting the cable whenever possible. Recently, the Washington Department of Transportation conducted a cable cutting demonstration on Highway 101 near Olympia. The goal was to demonstrate that these cables can be safely cut if required in an emergency. 3 cuts were made using different cutting tools under several different tension loads to simulate real-world cable strike situations. In the first cut, the tension was 8,260 pounds, and the cut was made with a K12 circular saw between 2 undamaged posts. You'll see that the cable retracted straight back about 15 feet to the post. There was no whipping, but there was a significant unraveling of the strand, so it's important that the person doing the cutting be protected with heavy gloves. The DOT recommends that if a cable must be cut, that it be cut just far enough from the impact area to be able to be cut between 2 undamaged posts. In cut 2, the tension was 9,340 pounds, and the cut was made with a portable combat cutter between 2 undamaged posts. Although it is not very visible until the end of this video, the DOT used 3 to 4 wraps of duct tape on the left side of the firefighter to see if it would control the unraveling. If you look very closely at the end of the video, you will notice that the cable on the left side of the firefighter had no unraveling whatsoever, while the untreated cable to the right of the fire again had significant unraveling. Therefore, it's strongly recommended that duct tape or some other form of tape be used before cutting to prevent unraveling. In cut 3, the tension was 8,300 pounds, and the cut was made with a hydraulic cutter in an area without posts to simulate a situation where many posts have been knocked down. In this video, the cable was being pulled about 15 to 20 feet from the center of the median to simulate the stretching caused by a vehicle. Again, we always recommend cutting between 2 undamaged posts, but we wanted to demonstrate what would happen if the cable was cut in an area where the cable had been stretched and a number of posts were knocked down. In this cut, we wanted to see if the cable would whip back towards the center of the median because it was being stretched. As you will see, the result was very similar to the 2 previous cuts. The ends were not taped, so you can see the unraveling, but there was absolutely none of the anticipated whipping action. So in summary, here are the state DOT recommendations. 1. Cutting the cables is a last resort and is only appropriate in life-threatening situations. 2. If it is necessary to cut the cables, we recommend cutting between 2 undamaged posts where the cables are parallel and not being subjected to multiple forces, and then only cut the minimum number of cables necessary. 3. We recommend that the cable be securely taped with duct tape or other tape on each side of where it will be cut to prevent unraveling. 4. If the cables are tangled around a vehicle, lifting the cables out of the post may be the most appropriate. However, if you start to raise the cables and the post is lifted, stop and pull the post out of the way. Use extra caution and secure the post with a chain or restraining device, as it may be under significant tensions if the cables are twisted around a vehicle. Lastly, 5. Training is available from the manufacturer. To schedule training, contact Don Gripney, Trinity Industries, at 360-943-9559, or you can email them at gripned@earthlink.net. For additional information on the high-tension cable safety system, you can contact Rick Phillips, Incident Response Program Manager with the Washington State DOT.